Do you remember the movie Planes? That spin-off full of adventure, adrenaline, and charismatic characters set in the skies of the Cars universe? That's right, a lot of people watched it as kids and hold it close to their hearts, but few know some really interesting facts about this production. Did you know that in some countries, one of the characters was completely replaced by a different one? And is Planes really part of the Cars universe? And more importantly, could Planes 3 be on the way? Stick around, because another amazing episode of Cine Lovers is starting now. The perfect place for anyone who loves nostalgia and great animated stories. To start things off, Planes was one of those movies that really surprised people when it came out. Released in 2013, it tells the story of Dusty Crophopper. He's a simple crop duster, used to flying low over fields and not much else. But Dusty dreams bigger. His biggest goal is to become a professional racing pilot and compete in the world's most important aerial competitions. Even though he wasn't built for it, he decides to push his limits and prove that it's possible to go far, even when no one believes in you. It's one of those inspiring stories we love, filled with messages about perseverance, friendship, and never giving up. Now here's a fun fact that many people still get confused about. Even though Planes has that classic Pixar vibe, it was actually produced by Disney Toon Studios, a Disney-owned studio and not by Pixar itself. But there's a very important detail. John Lasseter, the director of Cars 1 and 2 and one of the creative minds behind Pixar, was heavily involved in the production of Planes. That alone gives us a big clue as to why the two films feel like they belong in the same world. And yes, they really do take place in the same universe. Some characters from both franchises have even appeared together, making the connection between the skies and the highways even more clear. Planes premiered in 2013 with a production budget of $50 million, and it went on to gross nearly $240 million worldwide. Originally, Disney planned to release Planes only in theaters across Europe, while the rest of the world would get it straight to DVD. But then, almost a year before the release, Disney announced Planes is going to theaters worldwide. And honestly, thank goodness for that. A movie this good definitely deserved to be seen on the big screen. The first screening of the movie took place during an event for real airplane fans in the United States. This event happens every year, and on that day, Disney brought Dusty in real size. How cool is that? If you like this movie, go ahead and leave a like. Cars and Planes, McQueen and Dusty live in the same universe. And before talking more about that, the year after Planes 1 in 2014, Planes 2, Fire and Rescue was released. It tells the story of Dusty, who became famous for his races, but after getting a little damaged, developed a new passion for putting out fires. And so, Dusty joined the fire department. $50 million were invested in this sequel, which earned $147 million. As I said, Cars and Planes take place in the same universe. A clear proof of this can be seen in the short film Aero Maida. In it, Maida travels to the city of Propwash Junction, which is the same city where Planes takes place. On top of that, it's Skipper, the same plane who teaches Dusty, who teaches Maida to fly. It's all connected, guys. It's the same character interacting with both Mater and Dusty. The tractors that Maida and McQueen scare in Cars also appear in Planes. Even Dinoco shows up in Planes. Look at these cans. And here's another fun fact that gets any fan even more excited. According to Mater, yes, our favorite tow truck and Lightning McQueen's best friend, McQueen himself has been to Propwash Junction, the small town where Dusty lives in Planes. This information appears in one of the shorts in the Cars universe and makes it clear that the stories of these characters truly intersect at some point. In other words, the shared universe between Cars and Planes is not just a fan theory, it really exists. Now we can't help but wonder, what would it be like to see more characters from these two worlds interacting with each other? Just imagine a full crossover with McQueen and Dusty. That would bring a fresh spark to both the Cars and Planes franchises. A golden opportunity that Disney can still explore. Here's a tip, Disney. The Cine Lovers crowd would love to see this crossover come to life. Well, Planes also had its versions in games, available on Wii U, Nintendo Wii, Nintendo 3DS, and Nintendo DS. If you've played any of those, write it down in the comments. Planes 3 was supposed to be released in 2019, and from what we know, the story would take place in space. Kind of like Star Wars, but the protagonists would be the ships. However, just like Planes 1 and 2, the third movie was also being produced by Disney Toon Studios. This studio made many films, mainly focusing on Disney sequels, like Mowgli 2, Tarzan 2, Mulan 2. Yes, those sequels exist, and I've watched all of them. But then, in 2018, Disney Toon Studios was shut down, and Planes 3 was put in the drawer. I wish the third movie had been made to complete a trilogy. It would have been awesome. Do you know the character Rochelle? She was changed in several versions of the movie. In Germany, she's called Heidi. In Italy, Azura. In the Brazilian version, she's Carolina. In the Japanese version, she's Sakura. And there are a few others. If you didn't know this incredible fun fact, then leave a like and share the video with that person who needs to know this too. Anyone who loves Disney movies has to see this. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and see you in the next video here on Cine Lovers.